Ooh. All right. So I'm on here. Uh, are you in the stream, babe? Just let me know if anybody shows up. I was going to go check on a couple of things here real quick, make sure I've got them all set up. All right. I'm going to start out with a little bit of channel swap. Hello, babe. Come on. Won't let me do it that way. Alrighty then. We go into channel dashboard. Hello, hello, hello. All right. If anybody's showing up, just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and coming into the live stream. Got a couple of things I wanted to kind of chit chat about tonight, and hopefully all of our lovely friends will start showing up, and we can kind of just wrap up our weekend, see what everybody had going on, what their plans are for this next week, and all that good stuff. Let me see here. Anybody? I'm sure. So, babe, what do you want to talk about? Anybody? All right. Well, I'm super happy today because I finally got something taken care of at church. Some of y'all know I do the streaming service for our church, and we finally got the licensing. So now we can play the music. So I'm really happy about that. And that's going to be a problem. Does that work? Ta-da! Is that better? Okay. Now I just have this nice halo. See, a nice halo of white and snacks. So don't look back there if you're like trying to do low carb or any of that kind of thing. Don't look back there. We need a green screen. Just put things like hunted animals and protein, things like that. But let me see here. Nothing honey, nothing honey. Anyway, so on my thing at church, we got the licensing, so now I can put music out, which I'm really happy about. It's just not the same having, the people up there singing and stuff, but all anybody sees on the live stream is a muted thing, nothing going on. And uh, I have to put the little thing at the bottom that says music is muted, blah, blah, blah. It's just not, you just don't get into it the same way. So now we can do that. And I finally figured out how to get the right type of recording connection to be able to put a hard drive on the ATEM. And so now we can record. So when we drop internet at church, I can still get other things going on. But let's see here. Oh, well, hello, Fish in the Dot. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell Road Warrior I said hi. I was watching his for a while earlier, all the music he was playing. How are you doing, Fishing? Everything going all right? How's your weekend? Everything been good? Hello, hello. Anyway, so just talking about the different things that have been going on this weekend. Hello, Raymond. Nice to see you too. Greetings, greetings. Big hugs to everybody. Um, I'm not sure why you didn't. Might want to double check and make sure you rang the bell, because I try to make sure and do that on everybody. Then I start getting an idea of who's actually posting fairly often, and definitely the lives, because those are usually a lot of fun. Big Matt, Fish in the Dot saying hi. He's over there. He's got the headphones on, and he's on like the computer and the phone. Do you have the tablet out tonight? He's usually in 3 different places. Okay. I don't know why I wouldn't have done it then. Well, I'm glad you made it. See, it was all meant to be. It was all meant to be. So, Matt Raymond says hi. Um, we, I was talking about how got things set up at church. I do the live streaming there, and finally getting a lot of things in order. Um, but anybody have anything, any out of the norm excitement going on this weekend, or just the norm? What's your norm? What's your normal? Hello. All right, Matt, you're being decidedly quiet over there. Anyway, um, if anybody wants to come up, I'm about to drop that. Yes. Oh, thanks, Nightbot. Apparently, Nightbot's doing. Oh, I put everything on both of ours. Anything Nightbot's saying about Big Matt, it's true for me too. As long as there's nothing bad that shows up in the chat, then I leave it up because I know a lot of our friends like to do a bit of swap meet. We're always about helping each other out, helping everybody grow. Um, but I'm eating my M&Ms. Shh, don't tell anybody. That's how I keep my girlish figure. So, I've got a friend of mine messaging me asking if she can ask some questions about ADHD. Um, Anybody else know anything about it? We have way too much experience about it in our family. Lots and lots. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In other words, your brain goes nuts. Cassidy was telling me the other night, she said, or she was saying how hard it is for her to remember to do things. I said, sweetie, I understand. I've been there. I get it. And she goes, but my head is chaos. I said, I get it. And she goes, but you don't act like it. I said, well, I had to learn how to mask it. I had to learn how to get by, and we didn't have the medications then that we do now. Oh, what kind of M&M? Sorry, here I go on a tangent. Plain. I was given these for my birthday. Here I'm getting all serious. But we do have a lot of ADHD too. Squirrel. I always will go off on a tangent. Give me half a chance. And then I also get hot tamales. These product placement. There we go. I'm the almond ones. Those are good. Um, I don't like. Have you had like the brownie ones? I don't care for those. Some things I'm kind of like. I like the classics. Let's see. Did everybody else disappear? I'll chat with you all night long, Raymond. I did put the link up if anybody wants to come up. Nope. Okay, that's fine too. Not a problem. Anyway, do you have anything exciting happen this weekend? Or is that another nope? That works. Good reason not to come on live. In fact, my mom does that a lot. She just lays back like this, just watches everything going on. She's actually not here. Ah, thank you. Good to know you're still here. Um, she she and my dad went up to Dallas. As far as we're concerned, they practically went up into Yankeeville. Um, my aunt is having some medical procedures done, and so they've gone up to be with them while she recuperates and everything. So we'll see if she gets on. I got someone to move firewood for me. Nice.
Tell them you're not trying to offend anybody.
About?
Your comment.
Oh, Okay. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I don't know what I said where. But whatever the case is, if it said something offensive, that's not me. Hello, Road Warrior. I had your music just sitting by me earlier while I was eating supper and stuff. You were giving us our a little bit of mood music. I like all kinds of different stuff. When Matt and I first met, we were totally set up um, for as much as he and I both. I'm sure y'all can tell we're really shy. We don't like to talk to anybody ever. So we had a friend of ours, a mutual friend. I worked with her. Hey, Dobson. Hello, Willie. Is Maria here too? Um, but when he and I first met, friend of ours, she kept telling me, "You got to meet my brother. You got to meet my brother. He is, I mean, he's like, he's 7 foot tall, and you'll love him. He's a great guy. Blah blah blah." I had just moved back from Puerto Rico, and I was not in the mood to meet nobody. Didn't want nothing to do with it. Just I got too much going on. We don't get to our age without having drama of some sort, and I didn't want to deal with anybody else's. I was wondering how long that would take. Um, Road Warrior said that the copyright police came and got him. Um, that's one of the things that was cool at church today. Um, that for anybody joining now, I finally got all the copyright stuff done, so I can actually stream music from church now. So that's super cool. I just have to make sure I have all of the details and stuff in the description, and then if they mess me, if they come after me, all I have to do is show them the I just filed that I've got it, and we're good. I don't know, something like thing it is the copyright place we go through is for Christian songs. I know that there's a company called CCS that does a lot of uh, your regular music and your mainstream music. And let's see here. I'm gonna put the link back in again since more people are showing up. Um, anyway, the CCS has a lot of mainstream music and stuff, not just Christian stuff. So, and they have streaming licenses. So I don't know if some people are able to get those. I haven't checked into it. I don't know if you have to be a 501c to be able to do it or not. If anybody knows anything about copyright. Um, anyway, so with Matt and I, when we met, this friend of ours, Sabrina, she tells me, she's like, "You got to meet him. You got to meet him." And I'm like, "Nope, I don't need the baggage. I just want to uh, get my place." I had just moved back home from Puerto Rico, so I was still living at my folks. I'm like, I need to get a vehicle set up. I don't have time for any of this. So about 3 months later, I went over to her and her husband's to watch a movie, and he left to go and get some beer. And he comes back, and she and I are on the porch, and this is at a apartment complex, and we're on the deck, and we're looking out. I see the truck pull up, and this huge man steps out of the truck, and I'm like, "You did it, didn't you? And she's like, "Hey, just talk to him. Just talk to him." I'm like, "Nope, not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get set up." He had recently gone through a breakup, and he was like, he didn't want to get set up. So, from my understanding, he wasn't too much happier to see me there as I was to see him. So we didn't talk. It was like a couple of hours where we didn't talk any more than just basic need for discussion. Like, excuse me, can I get past? Could you hand me that drink? Whatever. And then I was looking at my phone, and I had a Blackberry. This was back in 2007, so not all the stuff that we got on it now, but I had music. Matt had a flip phone still, and I said, uh, I'm just going through my music, and he says, "You probably wouldn't listen to the type of music I listen to." I said, "Let me guess, country. Seriously, you don't think I listen to country?" So I've got country, I've got AC/DC and Kiss and all that, and I've also got reggaeton, and I've got country, and I've got gospel, and I've got bachata and all this other stuff. I mean, you probably hadn't even heard of most of the stuff I listen to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So over the next bit of time, we went from talking about this is my I think it's just nobody's talking. I'm showing I only have one person. It's probably Matt. If you're still here, say hi. Is Matt even still here? Is it just me? Am I all alone? Um. Anyway, so
Raquel.
oh, hello, hello. How are you, Raquel? I haven't been on with you in a while. Um, I've been really busy, so well, and I had a super migraine one night. So, oh, that's not good. Do you have a? I used to keep baking soda next to the stove uh, before we got the glass top. Well, I still do. You never know when it's going to come in handy. Always, always, always keep an open box of baking soda by the stove. Everything all right? Oh, good. That's good to hear.
She's got running water now.
I know. You're doing better than us in half our house. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. I mean, thankfully, a lot of us that live country and stuff, we know how to do things like bucket flush and all that. We can get by, but it's so much nicer having running water. That is for sure. I did not like having to tote 5-gallon buckets into the house just for flushing, but it works. So, but I guess did the water help with the fire? What'd you burn? There's more to this story. We know it's got to be. Anybody else have any excitement going on? Turned stove on so I could boil eggs and walked away to get the eggs. It was a steak knife. Oh, with the plastic handle. There was no flame, just awful smoke that filled the house. One knife down. Yep. I've got a couple things. We put a, when you had the electric with the circle thing, the burner. Is that what it's called? Yes. I'm having problems with words tonight. Um uh Hello. All right. So is Shogun, you were saying hi to me earlier. I see that you're saying hi again. Are you Jeffrey or
That's
somebody else? I'm trying to put things together here
so.
because I haven't.
It's Willie's brother.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Well, hello, hello. Um, hmm.
His other brother.
Aha. Well, I saw that you have Downriver Gems and Lapidary. I I love stones. I did some jewelry for a while, and um, really, really have always been interested in particular stones like opals and I forget the name of this stuff from Dominican Republic. It's the only place you can get it. It's blue. It looks like turquoise, but it's not. I'll definitely have to. I think I subbed to you when I saw you either yesterday or today, but it's been a pretty busy weekend, so I haven't been able to go and watch any of your stuff yet, any of your content. Let's see
Check which
here.
channel. I have three.
I saw that. Well, I did the one with this name. If you could drop your other channels or somebody else who knows for the channel you're logged into right now, um,
Type it
I
in.
set up the whole thing where it says drop.
NRH. Are you talking about?
Probably not. I'm not even logged in over here, baby. Do you need to um, type in here? I'm doing a live stream. Can I text back in a minute? It's a friend of mine. Actually, she's a really good friend of mine. I've known her for a long time. She was actually a missionary over in the Middle East. Remember I was telling you about that? Uh-huh. Yep. Anyway, um, uh, well, thank you, Ryan. Yes, ADHD is a something we definitely have a lot of experience with here.
Watch this.
What? What are you doing? Uh-oh. He's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. That can be frightening. I've known him long enough to know that. But yes, with Cassidy the other day. See, I'm going back to something from a little while ago. Um, the with the ADHD. There we go. Cassidy was in, but my brain, it's chaos. It's chaos. I said, yes, it's called masking. We learn how to deal with it. I've got 35 years more experience at it than you do. That's all. You'll get there. It's okay. You'll live.
Tell anybody that wants to come up, they
Yes.
need to see their face first.
Oh, okay. Well, I would
She wants
hopefully
to spend
see.
out all day.
Okay. Good to know. And that I really don't want to deal with stuff like that. I'm easygoing. I like to like everybody. I don't want to have anybody come up and I have to be all mean mama. It can happen though. I mean, Matt and Matthew were talking one day, and Matthew asked if there was anybody Matt was scared of, and he said, "You're welcome." And he says, "Your mama." That would be me. It takes a bit to get me mad. Takes quite a bit, but I tell you, I will. The easiest way to get me mad is to go after somebody I care about. Me, meh. I'm a big girl. I can deal with it. But um, um, Nightbot was saying something. I wanted to see what he said. I'm the one that typed it. Yes, I agree. I definitely like the good people in here. I really like the group that we've brought together, and I really love seeing when new people kind of come in and realize this is kind of a safe place. I mean, we can joke and stuff like that, and it's not all. It ain't necessarily all pretty, but um, let me see here. Yeah, having ADHD actually, if it's kind of like learning to harness being pissed about something. You use it to work, you don't let it tear yourself down or whatever. With ADHD, um, you have to put yourself in a space to allow yourself that creativity. That's something, I mean, when Cassidy was about 6, 7 years old, she was trying to tell someone that she was creative. But what she said was, I am creativity. And honestly, she was really on the mark. I wish that I had time to go through her phone because we would probably put up about 500 more videos on her channel. She is constantly, I mean, yesterday I'll put up a short video of this tonight. I went in there the other day where she's at and she had all these pieces of she had we have sibling stuff. Anyway, Cassidy had all these pieces of paper cut out, and I'm like, girl, you're gonna have to make sure all that's thrown away and everything else. And she had all of this colors and everything else. So yesterday morning, she comes to me and she said, Mom, this is for you. She had taken a pen, no, a pencil, and completely wrapped it, turned it into flowers. She had all these pieces of construction paper became flowers and it was stacked up together. And she cut a pencil so that when you took the cap off the flower, the eraser was there and you could use it to erase and stuff. And it's really cool. Um, you also have OCD. Yes. We say in this family, we have people with all kinds of letters. Um, ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, which most people know, um, and we have OCD, SPD, sensory processing disorder. I think I already said that. Uh, Bipolar and a lot of other stuff. Um, so you have a little a little workbench. I would need a massive one. I would need an absolutely massive one. Cassidy has turned my well, we call it Granny's room. It's where my mom, Momo's mom, stayed before she passed away, and that was 8 years ago, and we still call it Granny's room. But it's the room where we store all of the stuff from my candy, mom's leather, a lot of dad's tools, just all kinds of stuff is stored in there. But there's a spare bed, and Cassidy has turned the entire floor into her workroom. I mean, it's everywhere. She'll end up working in a space that's like this big. She's barely able to tuck into it. But you put her at a desk, she can't do it. It's different. It's like it's on purpose. She can't see everything. And so it just doesn't work the same way. You start putting things away and showing her how she can find it easier if it was all in the right spots, and she just about starts having a meltdown. Not a temper tantrum, but a I can't handle this meltdown. Two very different things. Let's see here. Anybody else got any letters? Let's see. We've talked about OCD, ADHD. Um, let's see. Anything else? All right, you have a little workbench, but is that for doing your lapidary stuff or um, other stuff? What kind of different things have people done? Because boy, we could go on all night with that. Think most of y'all know that I make candy. I make peanut brittle, fudge, pralines, divinity, all that kind of stuff. And finally, it's getting cooler where I can start doing that. Um, let's see. Ryan's asking Jeffrey, do you ship to UK, or would it cost postage and packaging? We call it postage and handling cost, or how you Americans call it sending packages. Well, now you know. Um, I know that going to Australia is really expensive. I don't know about going to Great Britain. I don't know if the postage is any different. What kind of things are you wanting shipped? Is that um, now for my candy? Um, I would love to send it, but I don't make enough to cover the postage. Um, but if somebody wants to definitely do that, I'll mail it wherever you want. uh, as long as there's not a problem. I don't know. My peanut brittle, I'm not sure if I can send it to like Australia because it's technically a nut, even if it's cooked. Um, I've met a few nuts, got a few in the family. Let's see. ESRD, that's one I haven't heard. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I'm one.
What's ESRD? Hmm? You're gonna have to tell me. Now, let's see here. Every crafter needs a yes. I have specific places for everything. Would mental meltdown if it was out of place, and my workbench is small for lapidary work only because stones would be half cut. Right, that makes sense. Um, um, my grandmother did actually. Ooh, I don't know if I can put it where y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to turn this. Um, the other night, we were showing some stuff on mats. I don't know who saw what, but if you look, which way does that go? That way? Yes. If you can see that right there, my granny that I was talking about, does, she used to do, uh, what is that? Glass, stained glass. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Oh, end stage renal disease. Well, I am sorry to hear that. Um, I've got some friends that have a friend down in Australia that had renal cancer. So we'll be keeping that in prayers. I've
Hello,
seen miracles
Maria.
happen. Hello, Maria. I'm here just listening in the background. My belly not feeling too good. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, it's um, that's never pleasant. The other night I had a migraine and just couldn't deal. So I have no problems at all with you being in the background. When Matt was doing his the other night, I had to leave the house and go, well, I had to leave mom and dad's, go to our house, and I still followed some of it online, but I just couldn't have it. I couldn't be in the same room where I couldn't control the volume. And let's see here. Um, oh, wait a minute. Well, I want to send goods from UK to US, and what do you do? Chocolate. Aha. I make fudge, but it's a little different than what some people are used to. It's some people describe it. We call it sugar fudge. It's not goopy. I know that in a lot of the U.S. they like the fudge like at the mall, and for me, the way I grew up, that the, the goopy stuff in the mall just means somebody didn't know how to make their fudge set. I it tastes a lot like if you have uh, fudge hot fudge syrup on your ice cream, but it has a thicker. It's almost like the texture of a sugar cube. Um, Let me see here. Hello, everyone saying hi. I like seeing that. I especially like when I start knowing people's names. Who's who. That's something I was talking about the other night, that I like knowing who's who behind the scenes, it makes me really want to go and check out your content when I know who it is. Um, when people are doing lives and stuff, you get a lot better idea of who they are. Um, yes, it's a chocolate, but it's thicker and darker than. Have you ever had like a coffee mocha? Some people have used my fudge, and what we do is once it dries out, we'll put it through a blender and make what I call cocoa crumbles. And you can put them in your coffee or on your ice cream or whatever. But if you put it in your coffee, it makes like um, it's like a dark mocha flavor. All right, FBO. Boy, Matt, I might need to turn that light off. At least the overhead, if you could do the top one. I'm blinded myself every time. Hmm. No, that's what I'm saying. Turn on the overhead and turn off the. That's better. Okay. Um. Nope, that's fine. Just leave it like that. Thank you, babe. Um. A thing with American candy, from what I understand, compared to well, when we lived over in Germany, for example, things just aren't as sweet. Our stuff is really really sweet. Ah, hi Jennifer. First signs I saw of ADHD in your daughter. Does the regular pediatrician evaluate them? Um, uh, Matt, sorry. Um, the With Cassidy, a lot of what we noticed was just she couldn't stay focused. Um, at first, we just kind of figured, all right, we live in the country, she's all over the place, but she was having meltdowns, and early on, I thought they were temper tantrums. Jennifer knows how strict my parents were growing up, and so we were not going to have temper tantrums, not in public. And then one day after I'd had some medication that caused me to have anxiety attacks, I noticed that's what was going on. My 5-year-old daughter was not, she was scared to death, and I'd been forcing her to do stuff. So, when I was talking to the pediatrician should evaluate them, but a lot of times it's hard to get that done. So I actually went through the insurance and got a referral to a psychologist, and that did testing, and they're the ones that evaluated them. You can also do it through the school, but it really just depends on the school district. Um, but the big thing, and people can say in the chat their own experiences, or somebody wants to come up, but um, a lot of it with the ADHD nowadays, they don't call any of it ADD. It's all ADHD, which I think is silly because the H stands for hyperactivity. It means you're jumping all over the place. But in truth, like for myself, I wasn't physically all over the place when I was a kid. I was, um, uh, it was my brain that wouldn't stop. And like how Cassidy says now, it's chaos. I've seen the joke go on Facebook, but it's very true. I feel like I'm a browser with 18 things open. There's music, and I don't know where it's coming from, and everything else. And it we tried a lot of different stuff before deciding to go with medication for Cassidy. And within 9 weeks, when she was in second grade, she went from not being able to read to being able to read on level. And the problem was she couldn't look at the paper. She was being looked at as if she was dumb because she wasn't turning in the grades and everything else like everybody else was. And um,
Who's
being a
Jennifer Nelson?
Nicholson. That's the person that you sent the link to earlier.
Okay, tell them not to time her out because hell,
Oh,
the other guy was here, and when I clicked on him, it was her.
oh,
So just tell
okay.
them to.
Jennifer Nicholson, please, if anybody sees her, she is a long, long time friend of mine. Um, uh, Her mom and my mom were best friends, and I'm a little bit older than her, but I've known her since I was a teenager. So please, please keep her. Um, uh, are you still in here, Jennifer? Since I've been talking, and if you want to ask specific questions, I can either bring you up or we can chat later um, on Messenger. I don't know how public you want to be about your questions, but let me see who. If there's any, do you want anything, any more details on that, or anybody else has any question? Oh, so Big Matt did it first. Now we
No,
know.
I was going hell, Jack. That the guy that was cussing on your first live
Oh, is that who it
was
was?
here, and I
Okay,
clicked on him, and
yeah.
she popped in right below him, and I caught
5 past 4 in the morning and craving candy. That's like Cassidy. Boy, we have to stop her quick in the morning and make sure she gets some form of um. You're a bully, Matt. Hmm. See, Matt's never actually met her. He knows. I mean, I've talked to him about her and stuff, but she travels a lot and is overseas and back and forth. And since we do a lot of stuff online, sometimes I lose track of whether she's in the States or not. I think she is now though because of COVID stuff or the C word. I don't know if that's restricted or not.
it. We've been dealing with
Um. Oh, I thought you said earlier, Ryan, that you were trying to charge up your phone. So, um, okay, let's see here. We have as far as the candy, the some of the stuff I don't know. Has anybody on here heard of divinity? Know what that is? Don't know what that is?
I can't do this.
You can't do
I
what?
can't lie.
Here, take this. Do what you got to do.
Because I think I can unblock her.
Oh, she was blocked?
She was timed out for 30 for
Okay.
like 300 seconds. The one
Uh,
that was blocked and removed was
Okay.
the other guy.
All right, Jennifer, if you're still here, here I am trying to text. I can just say it. Um, to the story about the element. Oh, I'll get there eventually. See, this is a case study right here of ADHD. Um, the with the element, what happened was we put a chopping board on it. So for years, I had a chopping board that had the circles on the bottom of it. That's all. But it stank. It stank for a while. Really did. We've got um, multiple items that have parts of it. Yes, I always have squirrels running around. That is how I live my life. Yes, divinity is white and yummy. It's a nougat. and it is very hard to make. Um, the divinity is um, it starts out as a meringue, but you whip syrup into it. That's also all of my stuff is cooked from scratch. None of it's like pre-done. And you so the syrup when you're pouring it in is about 250 degrees, and and then you have to whip it and whip it and whip it, and it takes forever. But if your humidity is 2 percentage points off, the whole thing will mess up. uh, it's so we jokingly say, most people say it's called divinity because it is so yummy. We call it divinity because you pray the entire time you're making it that it comes out right. But mine's pretty fluffy and yummy.
There, I added her a moderator,
Oh,
so if
good.
she comes back, nobody can
Okay.
time her out.
Do you think you could go back over to that text message there and just let her know that that her getting, oh, there she is. Ah, she's back. She's back. Okay. So you'll be back in November. I really hope this time that we can actually say hi to each other like in person, because it's been a long time since we've been able to see each other. Okay.
Tell
Sorry,
her I'm
Jennifer.
sorry I had to take the
Yep.
other guy out though.
And there's been some issues, Jennifer, with somebody who's been coming on streams and saying things that would actually cause them to get in trouble with YouTube. And the last time I did one, someone came in and just cussed and all kinds of stuff. So when people didn't recognize you, that's what messed up. Um,
Tell her the truth. Tell her your husband did it when he was trying to take the one out that
oh,
was
well,
cussing.
all right. So, well, I'm looking for self-employed people across the states who are willing to send over sweet candy, chocolate crisps, and snacks.
No,
All right. Matt said no. Sorry. Why no?
because I said no.
Because he said no. All right, we'll sneak it.
But tell her to be careful because she can time people out now. She has a wrench.
Okay. Oh, if you're willing to pay shipping and stuff, then we're good. I'll send you stuff. Actually, I've started everything but my brittles. I'll package in bags now, and it's a lot easier to get those into small packages. So that works. But let me see.
Tell Jeffrey he should try candy then.
Yeah. But the uh yes, what kind of gems do you mostly work with? Like I said, I like Larimar. That's the one I was thinking of. Um I like Larimar and opals and things like that. Um, Believe it or not, I'm one of those girls that diamonds and stuff isn't really what my thing is. Oh, it's a lot of expense for a little payout, especially when you know that the reason why they cost so much is because the market's being strangled specifically to make them more expensive. So that's not something I need. Um, do some trades. That would be good. All right. So what's everybody's favorite candy? Fish in the dot. You specifically said Ryan, but I'm kind of curious. What type of candies do people like? I'm looking for a gem for my
That's
mother's
my
birthday.
boy Raymond.
All right. But is Swiss meringue sweet? Because divinity really is. I made the mistake one time of giving Matthew some divinity as we were walking out the door. I wasn't thinking about it. I had just made it. He wanted some. I said sure because we were in a hurry. Oh,
Say
Lord.
hello to Abby.
Let's see. Opens Lord, Chrysophase. Oh, hi, Avid. How are you doing? You snuck in while I was reading something else. Um, let's see. Oh, Tiger Eye. I love Tiger Eye. I haven't seen Tiger Iron and Jade. Those are all. Oh, those are the. Oh no, I know it's a stone. I get that, but to me they're warm. They've got. They're smoother. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure you have a better term for it. Um, actually, you know what? I'll send uh might do a um Shogun. I'll send you a do a short video or something of an opal my dad bought me for when I graduated high school. And I mean, this opal it's big, but it's like about that big. I mean, these are individual little ones, but it's huge. And he bought it in India. Um, and ooh, Matt, I want tiger iron. I've never seen that. I want that. Sorry.
Jeffrey, you're killing me.
I want that. I wear silver. I don't wear gold. Not usually. Even our wedding bands are white gold. Um, but um, the lost opals. Oh, the opal, and it's in a band that is it's in a band that's rose gold, and it's beautiful. And he got it in India, and over there it didn't cost much. But the problem is that the top of the opal is thank you. I appreciate it. I'll definitely go look for it. The top of the opal has some it needs to be shaved down a little more, but I've never quite trusted anybody to do it. Um, my dad didn't spend a lot on it, but considering he brought it back from India and stuff, it's pretty special to me. When you say candy, that means chocolate in the States, isn't it? Because in UK, candy means sweets. Yes, candy can be any kind of sweets. Um, and candy is, I was about to say anything you put in your mouth that's bad for you, but there's a lot of different things that can go along with that. Ooh, a silver dollar size piece. Hmm. No, when I say candy, peanut brittle is really my main candy, and it's actually let me see if I can bring in over here. I'll try to do it real quick. Um, but peanut brittle is a candy that is well, it's brittle. It's hard, it's flat, but the way I make it, it's very crumbly. It's got a buttery kind of like if you've ever had have you ever had a butterscotch candy? Um, let's see here. Yep, anything sweet, anything sweet, um, except for cakes and cookies. But typically, candies, I guess, are hard. Would that be? But then you can have a candy bar. That's kind of soft. So, yep, there's a lot of different options out there. I'm going to see here. I'm going to share my other screen. I figured out how to do this once before. And I'm going to do Chrome tab, Mason jar candies, share. Now let's bring this back over here. All right, we're going to do this. All right, these are my candies. Um, yes, Sour Patch Kids. I love Sour Patch Kids. Um, and then black licorice, mm, not so much. But I really do like the soft licorice that they do in Australia. The red ones, I like those. This is my candy, and this is what the brittle looks like. I've got this is the peanut brittle here, and I think if I go into this, it's been a bit. Come on, there we go. That shows. This is what my candy looks like. Looks a little washed out in this picture for some reason. It's usually a dark golden color, very buttery looking. Um, and then I watched a guy make his like sponge toffee with peanuts. Yes, mine. Um, I remember Charlie couldn't have caffeine, but I've heard it can help in some cases. Did you guys try any food adjustments? Yes, we did. I can tell you that for ADHD, caffeine actually could be a positive thing. We didn't know it then. That's part of the reason why a lot of the medications for ADHD are um, stimulants like caffeine. A lot of people who say that caffeine helps them focus, it's most likely because they have a slight chemical imbalance and the stimulant in it is helping them focus. Let's see. Let me go. I'm going to bring it back to like that so y'all can still. I don't know. Anyway, so could y'all see the candy? Sorry, a bit slow today and only started out on YouTube getting rid of this camera shyness. Big Matt and Unky Willie are. Yes. Um, let's see.
So drop the link again and tell him to
Yes.
come up.
All right.
And
Let's see here.
make sure you tell him to watch his language.
Yes. Well, he only dropped one bad word last time that I heard. All right, fine. Yes, stay away from red dyes. Yes. With there comes a point, sometimes there is an issue with sometimes people are getting labeled with ADHD when they do have food sensitivities or they're having situations like nowadays, kids are expected in school to sit down and shut up for 8 hours. They hardly have any time to play. When they get home, they're doing another hour or two of homework. They've got time with family, usually dinner at most, maybe an hour on games or whatever, and then it's bedtime. They don't have the time to go out and do anything. And um, if you um, if you've learned to you've learned to mask, like I was talking about, or to focus your ADHD, then sometimes you can get around the medications. But there are certain situations where a chemical imbalance is something that you can't just say go away. And if that's what your case is, then your situation is, then you do need to look at medications. But one of the reasons why we chose to go with, well, with homeschooling, we don't have to worry about it as much.
You watching down at the bottom?
I was, he's still not here yet. Anyway, I was going to show y'all, this is the other candies that I make when I was talking about the, come on, you can do it. Here's the fudge right here. I'm going to bring it into another screen. And you see it's a hard chocolate. So that when I'm talking about chocolate for the fudge, it's, let me see if I can make it bigger. Can I make it bigger? Nope, that just made me bigger. There we go. That's the sugar fudge. And it stands on its own like a sugar cube, but when you bite into it, it kind of just dissolves. And I have that both with and without pecans. It's good stuff. Um, so let me go back to here. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Stop screen. Okay, now it's just me. Ah, Raymond, you're liking the look of that, huh? Um, there are, when you're talking about the amphetamine-based ADHD medications, there are some like Focalin that isn't. And like for our two kids, there's, well, Focalin can be, what's the other? Syvance? There are ones out now that are not amphetamine based. Um, but the other thing is it can take, if you start taking medications, under doctors, all that good stuff, then saw any issue because I'd worked as they came up. She has trouble focusing on things like cleaning her room. She starts playing and forgets. Yes, that's very common. Sometimes that can also be not just ADHD, but it can also be what they call problems with executive function. And if you look that up, you can probably find some quite a bit online about how to help with that. Yes. Um, uh, Yes. How old is she now? Because I'm still thinking of her as little, but she's probably, how old is she now? Um, but um, with some of the medications, they're coming out with some now that aren't amphetamine based, and they work really well. But yeah, 10. So, I part of what we had to do with Cassidy was we had to start doing things like 5 things. Break it down into smaller sections. Instead of saying clean your room, because 2 things happen. First off, it can be very overwhelming, especially if it's gotten too far out of your zone. And so you have to kind of break it back and say, all right, go get 5 pieces of trash, go get 5 shoes. And since that's an odd number, it makes it easier to stay on focus of what it is you're trying to do. And if you take it into chunks like that, then it's a lot easier to handle. It's kind of like any of us for doing a project. Some of you may have heard, what's the best way to eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. You can't eat the whole thing at once. So um, with well, hello, Miss Health and Beauty. Nice to see you. Nice shout out. Thank you very much. We're covering a bunch of different things tonight. We're looking at candy, and we're also talking about things like ADHD. And I'm one of those odd people that I will jump back and forth between those just as easy peasy. Um, but Jennifer, I'd say one of the best things to do is talk to her. Ask her if you know what it is, and one of the biggest things we started doing because Matthew was getting in so much trouble because he kept doing things um, like he was trying to feed the chickens, ended up with feed everywhere. Um, and it was because he was trying to help. Now, initially, when you look at it, it would look like he was, um, uh, we're doing really good. Matt's like, how are you guys? We're good. We're all over the place. Um, but um, let's see here. Matt's getting frustrated because I don't run my stream the same way he does. But anyway,
We're
we're
good,
good.
MS.
We're good.
Health and beauty.
We're good. I'm gonna put the thing up again if anybody wants to come up. But anyway, yes. Let's see. Shogun's saying um that he's dealing with ADHD for 37 years with no meds and breaking it down one step at a time. Try not to focus on shiny and along my path. Um, Coffee helps and rock stars. Yes, that's that caffeine. That's where instead of using prescribed medications, you're self-medicating with caffeine, and that's a fantastic way to do it. That one of the problems that some people have is they try self-medicating with other things, and I think a lot of the people that end up in that, huh? Oh, when people start trying to do other stuff is when they end up it's not controlled and they end up with problems. Uh, she said that was a surprise, Matt. I think you jumping in and thumbs up and all that good stuff. Um, but when I put the books away, sometimes things like putting the books away, um, like I said, it's so many of them, it's real easy to get sidetracked. Breaking it down and then build up from there. And I know it means a lot more hands-on, but until you can work through it. But the best thing you can do is teach her those skills. But it's um, yerba mate, Brazilian tea. Is it? I've heard of that one, but I've never had it. Isn't that like a really dark? Hmm. Yes, Raymond. That's one of the biggest things a lot of people have talked about.
Why is she calling me a ghost? Because I hadn't been in here
I
for a
thought there
while.
was a giant ghost behind you. No, because when you came in, because of the light and everything, it, you came in out of nowhere. Yes, please, please, please hit that like button. Hit the these thumbs. Um, uh, but you sleeping, not
Oh,
being able to sleep at night is another huge sign. But a lot of people think that ADHD is not being able to, it not being able to sit still, and really and truly, a lot more of it is it's a mental thing. You just can't
make sure you
can't
tell
stop
Sue
thinking.
she can't come up on yours until she comes up on my panel.
Oh yes, she can.
Oh no, she can't.
Sue can come up on my channel anytime she
I
wants
didn't
to.
say Sue.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I would enjoy anyone coming up.
Thumbs
You
up,
see,
thumbs down for
thumbs
you.
up. No, it says thumbs up done for you. But um, let's see here. Anybody else? I know good and well. I've been in too many chats with most of y'all. I know more than just a couple of us are dealing with things like ADHD. So who who's dealing with it? What do you do to deal with it? What kind of issues have you seen? Because it's one of the biggest things. People didn't talk about it before. Use a gourd as a teacup and put tea in the gourd and fill warm water and drink through a straw with a screen. All right. What kind of tea is it though? Is it your normal black tea? Because I know a lot of the teas we use are Indian or South American. A lot of it's grown down there now. But I mean, a tea is a wet leaf. So what kind of a leaf are they using?
You got
Let me see. We have 9 wonderful people in here. Yeah, yeah.
on
Only
one thing
takes a
it
little
says
while.
15 thumbs up, and on another it says 13.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer, for stopping in. It was really good to see you. And if you want, yes, definitely. Well, you just happened to message just right at the time that this was starting, and I knew it'd be a little while before I'd be able to message back with you. So I will chat with you later. Love and hugs. And y'all be safe over there. Okay. All right. Bye. Now let's see here. It's an herbal tea that's not really dark. Okay. Um, who's that said they play music? Ah, Ryan. Yes. A drum kit is good. You know, they say that you just about have to be ADHD to be able to play drums, to be able to keep track of all the different patterns. Um, you need to be able to focus on more than one things at once. No, she's still here. I thought. Yes. Yep. It says hi Shogun. And then let me see here. Rolling with Raquel is here. When did I type? You typed that from mine. I'm like, when did Texans Down Under get here? Hi. It's my split personality. I deal with that too. Don't we all? That's what keeps life going well. Now, our son was pretty surprised when he found out that mommy used to listen to Kiss. Saw them on a um, Scooby Doo show. One of the Scooby Doo movies had a Kiss on it, and Ray told him, "Oh, your mom listens to them." No way. True, that's for I mean, for a good one, but you can get started even if there because at the place where we got Matthew's guitar, they also have a whole area for guitars. I mean, for drums and stuff. And there's like electric ones and things that no, it's not going to have that full effect of everything and all over the place. But you can start learning your patterns and everything, and then build towards it. Um, and then once you're doing that, I mean, honestly, put one of the things on your channel of as you're starting to learn it. You might hit a point where you're doing really well, and um, maybe you'll get somebody to sponsor you for something decent. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Right now, I just need to get decent computers for all of us. The computers we're using have like 4 gig of RAM, so things go pretty slow. I don't know if y'all see it, but for me, when I do this, it's real choppy. Matt's got the decent camera over on his phone. My denture kit lost 143 pounds, but is on its way. Okay. Oh, it cost 143 pounds. Here, that's like,
75 bucks.
no, it's a little more than that. But I think it's about 100. I don't know. It may have changed some. Um, Raquel, Shogun's asking how you're doing. Mm, let me see. Anybody wants to? I know that pretty much everybody that's in here right now, I think, knows each other. So, um, if anybody has any friends that they think everybody should know about, feel free to drop their links. Um, Rolling with Raquel. Raquel says, "I'm good. Um, how are you?" 93-ish. Okay, thank you. I hadn't recently looked at what the prices, what the exchange rate was when I lived in Germany. Now this was years ago. Let's put it this way: I was in junior high, so just a few years ago. Um, the times when I'd earn money from my folks, they'd give it to me in American money, and I'd take it to the bank across just down the street a little bit. We were in this really tiny town, and they'd exchange it into Deutschmarks. And well, there's dating myself. It was before euros. Anyway, but boy, I had three times as much money. Oh yeah, easy. I could live on that for a while. Probably not, Raquel. I jump around so much that it could be any conversation at one point or another. Um, but okay, which is coming from the UK? The denture kit. We were talking about how much it costs to send things. Nice, Raquel. Probably so. She's asking if Kiss does a farewell tour every year. Earlier, I was thinking about the Hell Freezes Over tour for Eagles because uh, I had been to the concert that was supposed to be when I was in Denver. It was at Mile High Stadium. We were way up in the nosebleeds, and not like ACDC. That was cool. I was down on the floor for that one. That was a great concert. But anyway, Eagles had done. Um, they had done their concert that was supposed to be their last one, and then they came back and did their Hell Freezes Over tour because they did get back together. But um, hello, the gospel. I wonder who that could be. Um, PC setup includes mics, monitors, etc., etc. Um, okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to see what your question was about the setup. Um, Oh, your setup. Okay, found it. Talking about Kiss, they are doing their last ever tour, an AC/DC Power Up tour. Can't wait. Definitely want to go see them live. It was very cool to see them live. I happened to actually um, get in on getting those tickets at the last minute, and the fact of where they were just a friend of mine had actually won them on a radio station, and um, so I was able to be right down close. But let's see, the big concerts I went to Queensryche, AC/DC, Aerosmith, um, uh, what's his name, and the Silver Bullet Band. What's his name? Can't remember it. All of a sudden, I can't think of his name. But anyway, during my time in Colorado, went to some great concerts. I have to fix my face and is making a bridge with a white opal eye cut. Okay, think I missed something in there somewhere. But or are you talking about the face? Yes, Bob Seger. That's exactly who I was thinking of. That's exactly who I was thinking of. But I didn't actually see Kiss in concert, but I definitely listened to. All right, for those who don't know, I'm a little older than 20 years old. Actually, I think most of y'all know my birthday. I'm only 1 year away from the half century mark. But when I lived in Colorado, was in the 90s, and just went on some great concerts. Great concerts. Um, I know what I'd like to do. I wonder. Yeah, autocorrect can be a real pain in the butt. We can. We all. I never seen so many ducks in my life till everybody got autocorrect. Come on, you'll get it. Anyway, haha. Did you see Bon or was it Brian, the lead singer? You seen them live? It was. I think it was Brian. I mean, it was the Back in Black tour. Honestly, I just sing along.
No, you're not.
You know, that says we're not. I wonder, Matt, could you I wonder. I'm gonna try something here real quick. Um,
Are you in StreamYard?
yes.
Are you wanting to give somebody a wrench?
No, you can do that though. If there's somebody who's shown up that you want to give a wrench to, then by all
I'm
means.
giving whoever you tell me to give a wrench to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, no, what I'm gonna do is I should have set this up ahead of time.
Just for the record, I
Yes.
do not know who the gospel is.
Okay. I know the gospel. I know the gospel
Was I
pretty
in
well.
church today?
I know I was.
Exactly.
You watched part of the string. Um. Oh, okay. I. Yeah. We.
Tell Raquel to type in drop.
Okay. Raquel, type in drop. Actually, do we not have? Um. Here, I'll put that one up. And here's one that I made. Yep. This is Anita's stream. Might get a little bumpy. um. I'm going to send a message over here to a friend of mine. Um. Somebody showed up.
Yeah, I don't know who. It's Coffee Angels. Angel Coffee.
Coffee Angel Crafts. Hello, Anita and everybody. First time in your chats. Hello, Coffee Angel. Please make sure and type in drop so we can go and check out your channel. And other people will be doing the same. And one of the things that we're big about around here is share the love. Um, you may pick up somebody that you never would have found before and you wouldn't have thought to go look for. And that can end up. Mm, I have Raquel. I have set up Nightbot to where that command can be done by everybody. You don't have to be a mod to do it. Um, if you were to just post your own, you'd have to be a mod. But to type in drop,
She's a mod in my channel.
no. Oh, it's because that's how I set it up to do it. Anyway, I'm trying to see where's Don. Hmm. Just a second, and I'll be right back. Da, 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 as I type, type, type. Concerts. All right. Anyway, what I just did was try to get in touch with a friend of mine that we used to hang out together all the time when I lived up there. Let's see here. Drop, drop, drop. Now, if you put in drop and it doesn't get your channel, then wait like about 30 seconds or so and put drop in again because there is a little bit of a timeout.
There was 3 people putting.
Yep. So just give it a moment and let's see which one did it do. It did Ryan Williams. Um, so Coffee Angel, if you want to do that, and then um, there you go, just like that. Thank you very much. So you do crafts. Um, we'll have to definitely get you hooked up with our daughter, Casty World. Matt, do you want to drop hers? And she's all over the place. We never know what she's going to work on. She does this, that, and everything else. I was telling everybody that yesterday, night before that, Lynette, is that your name? Thanks. That is my aunt's name. The one that my parents went to go visit today. Um, but she just had craft stuff everywhere. Is if Raymond's still in?
Yes, Raymond Williams.
Are you wanting him to drop Cassidy's?
Yes, please.
Okay. Raymond Williams, if you could drop Cassidy's, I'd appreciate it. I could probably do it. Just take me a second to go over. Oh, I can't? Okay. Well, now we know. But um, anyway, we do a little bit of the. Okay, so Raymond is doing his own. Could you please drop Cassidy World? I'd really appreciate it. Um, uh, we were talking about ADHD earlier. If you want to see a poster child for it, then watch some of our daughter's videos. That'll do it. She wakes up in the morning singing. Um, oh, well, the thing it is Raquel. All of the money kind of goes to the same place, so I might as well just leave it like that. I'll do my stuff through the candy, and honestly, it'll make it easier for tax time if enough comes in from the one to end up having to file anything on it. Then I'd like to be able to keep it separate. I might eventually end up making one on mine, but if you want to donate straight to me, go buy some candy and then I'll get the stuff from that and you get something else in return too. So that works.
You now have 13 people.
Woohoo! Shogun? Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of that tiger iron. Never even heard of it before. And I have always just thought that I love Tiger Eye. It just has such a warm feel and look to it. I don't know how else to describe it. That's how it is to me. Um, but I think the silver in it would be gorgeous. Um, well, yes, it would be. I have what side of did you say before? Aren't you over like British Columbia side? Because I have some friends that live in Washington. Maybe they could just meet you at the border. Maybe that would be easier. I'll mail it to them and they can just step it across. Um, let's see here. I think somebody was gonna put it up, but they haven't yet. Um, her name it's Cassidy World. Um, let's see. Oh, you're straight up. Okay. All righty. I did. Ooh.
It'd be easier for us to get to Oklahoma though, and I'd rather do that.
No. You guys. Yeah. Right. Ryan's right. At least Raquel. At least for you, you can get here with a road trip. Let me see here. I've gotten 2 packages so far, 2 completely different items, and both people were charged $20. All right. Well, depending on how big the package is, and what all's in it. But I have a question for you though. If you're straight up, Matt, are you still not able to? I wonder if I can just go into. I'm gonna. You got her finally. Okay. All right.
Just had to get to
Matt's about to drop it. So drop it like it's hot. Um. Anyway, are you Raquel? Are you just above Michigan? Because if so, I definitely want to chat with you about some
I
stuff.
dropped it at the same time frame.
Hey, that's okay. So there's Cassidy's, and Cassidy will um. Okay, thank you. That would be great. She she's all over the place though. Um, she has she wakes up in the morning and she's singing, and it's beautiful, and I really wish that we could just let her stay like that all day long.
Who's
The
in North Dakota?
Raquel is just above North Dakota in Canada.
See, you got me in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Um it says, "Come on, I'm slow." Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. That's okay. You got it. We're good. But the nearest city in Texas to us. Well, technically, well, Houston. Houston's the one people are going to know. We live about halfway between Houston and the coast.
Dallas.
Dallas, they're a bunch of Yankees up there, just about. Not from Dallas. We're at the opposite end of the whole country, all the way down here.
I'm surprised Scott hasn't showed up yet.
Well, sometimes people have other things. Even though I miss you all when you're not here, I love seeing your names.
Yeah, because none of them will come up on the panel with you.
10 to 1 in the morning. Let's see. That would make sense. Um,
There, you'll be happy. I sent it to him in Messenger.
okay. Um, but
Probably in somebody else's live.
no, the reason why I was wondering if she was above Michigan, if anybody is in that area. My great grandfather was born in Charlevoix, um, Michigan, but that was his family had been um, just north in Canada was where his parents were and stuff. And I've ran into some major difficulties trying to get some information, and it's a kind of a big black hole in my genealogy box, and irritates me. So somebody was living in that general area. I was kind of hoping they might be willing to ask some questions for me. Let's see here. Matt leaves the chat up. There's a thumbs up. Texas is definitely on. Yes. And the thing with Texas is a lot of people, I know that when I lived overseas, people were like, some of them were surprised to find out that Texas wasn't its own country.
Yeah,
They thought it
right.
was. Well, for a while, it was. A lot of
Texas
people
better
don't
be
get that.
on your bucket list. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. But the thing it is people don't realize that one of the reasons when everybody's talking about like seceding from the country and blah 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 blah, Texas is it has the one of the highest GDPs, and the if we sold to the United States, a lot of the stuff that we make, um, we'd be making a lot more money. We Texas has all kinds of different types of there's desert, there's swamp, um, there's some mountains, not much, but there is some.
Hill
There's hill country. There's just so much. It's a ton to do. Yes, 24-hour straight drive down would pretty much be what it was. I had to drive up to Detroit when I was working for FEMA, and I went straight up to Chicago and then over, and it was 32 hours, I think. That was one heck of a drive, I can tell you that. Um, let's see here. Make a cup of tea. That's what I'm doing right here. That's my hard drink for tonight. Drinking tea. Let's see. Matt's making eyes at me.
Somebody's
Shh.
making eyes at you.
Coffee Angel says hi, Matt. Um,
I says hi back.
yeah, I really enjoyed. In 2019, I went and I helped my aunt. We moved all of her stuff. Boy, I could do an entire hour just on that without even with only hitting the high points. But we ended up driving the Alcan, the Alaska Canada highway, all the way up. You can't see my hit. There we go. All the way up that west side of Canada. Oh, it was so pretty. I enjoyed that trip. Really did. Almost all tiny towns. It was really good. It was nice. I enjoy traveling though. I'm so glad that when my dad was in the military, it was a time when people traveled with their soldiers. Um, Raquel, which one, Sask or Man? So Saskatchewan or Man? Oh, you drink coffee? I can't drink coffee. I look like a cat with a hairball. It's not pleasant. It's really not. It's one of the few things I can't handle. Coffee and yams. Ugh. Mm-mm. Not good at all. Other people love them. Think yams is probably about the only thing I can't cook. Anything else I can, whether I like it or not or whatever is no big deal. But ugh. She says Manitoba, and you can see my mailing address on my about page. She said it's Austin. Well, obviously not Austin, Texas, because that's what comes to mind for me.
I didn't know
Um,
Manitoba had an Austin.
there's a lot. Well, Texas has a Paris, so Nova
Never.
Scotia, yes. See, that's where um, the Cameron side of my family came in from through Nova Scotia.
He wants to try your meatloaf.
The one that we made, well, the one that Ray made the other day, it was massive, but that was like five
Texas
pounds of
size.
burger. uh Um, Sydney in Arizona. We've got a family uh, in Sydney, Australia. But let's see, Nova Scotia, yes. My understanding is it is gorgeous. The pictures I've seen are just beautiful, beautiful. Um, let's see. I spent decent. We were in Europe and we were in the Middle East. Um, and then here in the lower 48 of the U.S. and then up in Alaska. But I've never been south of the equator, and it's something that really has annoyed me. Um, but there's so much of the world there that people used to ask me where I'm from, and I would say Northern Hemisphere. That's about as good as I could get. But I would love to go to Scotland. Um, well, we have family friends that live in London, so I would like to go over there. But in particular, Scotland, because
She does.
that's
I
where
mean,
my. You don't want to go to Scotland?
I wouldn't
I
mind,
want to see you in a kilt.
but just saying.
I don't know how much fabric they would need though. That would take a bit. We might need a bolt or two. Um,
No, you can have.
so anybody want to pitch in to get a kilt
I'm gonna
for
go.
Matt?
I'm gonna go hang out with Raymond.
You're gonna go hang out with Raymond.
I'm gonna go hang out with
Um, I there's so much history there, and I'm just fascinated by a lot of it. Uh, I've probably watched. I discovered way too many historical streaming shows. The Highlands. Yes.
Raymond.
What?
I love you.
I love you too. You want to dip snuff, don't you?
Yes.
Did you check the truck, the Tahoe?
Yes.
And you don't. We men in skirts gotta love it. And as they say, are you wearing it regimental?
Hey,
Yep.
I thought that was men in tights.
No, 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 it's not men in tights. Could you turn off my alarm? Um,
I'm trying. Give me a cotton
yes, he would, Roland. Um, yes, actually, what I would love to see, except for the way his back and stuff is now, I don't think he could do it anymore. Not like he used to.
what
But I
chunky
would have,
pole.
yes, I would have loved to seen you in a one of the lumberjack contests. Yep, I would absolutely love to see that. Um, and I think a lot of people don't fully, um, think a lot of people don't fully realize how big Matt actually is. You know, across the shoulders. I mean, he really is. He's a big man, and
I'm bigger than Scott.
um, I
With rambling with the broom.
ah, let's see. I would go live and show you the beach, but I've got to wait 24 hours before going live. Yep. And where I live, they're literally around the corner. It's a lush sound with the sea. Nice.
Tell him. I told
Yes.
him don't play no music.
I like that they have their own purses too. I
Told
think
him.
they're nicely strategically placed. Ah, rambling with the brooms. Hello, hello. Howdy, howdy.
Hello,
Yes, the
Scott.
lumberjack contests are so cool.
How you doing, Scott?
Matt says, "How you doing, Scott?"
She put me in jail and took over so she could
Yep.
go live.
Hey, well, he only lets me. If y'all notice, he gets real jealous. He gets real jealous. Like he's doing his, and then sometimes it's just
And
I
how many
realize I'm
times have
typing
I
so much in the chat. I'm like, I might as well just get on and say something.
how many times have I hijacked yours?
Uh huh. And yeah, he doesn't hijack mine in the sense of getting on and doing stuff. He just is making motions on the other side of the table, like and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, you heard that little fella talking about you. Hmm.
I always talk about Scott.
At least I can say your name right. Oh, now I'm getting looks. No, he always
I can
Matt.
end your whole stream.
He's being mean. He's threatening me. He said he's gonna just stop the whole stream. But that was an excellent impression. Yep.
Ask Scott about
You
his
should see
trolls.
see if Cassie's awake still.
She's not. She's out.
She is really. Wow, that's unheard of.
It's only 11
Casty,
o'clock at night.
I know Casty's normally up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's one of those ADHD things that we were talking about
Ask Scott.
earlier.
Ask Scott if he got to keep all of his subs from his troll.
Oh, Matt's asking if you got to keep all of your subs from your troll. Don't know. Um, but yep, I've gotten pretty good at Matt's facial expressions. The end of this month, we will have been married for 14 years, and um, yeah, we've been through some things that most relationships that are a lot longer haven't
That's
even
enough
been
to
to.
tick you off. If they're gonna annoy you that much and sub your channel, they should have to stick.
He's had lost all of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had like 30 of them sub to him.
I'm at, let's see, where am I at? I I don't know. I don't even know. I'm at 80 something. 89. Woohoo! Think I got a couple more today. Um, preferred bedtime, but 6 to 7
See, I was
a.m. or
close,
wake up time.
29.
No. Um, we around here, even my dad was Army for 20 years. He will stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Whenever he'd get to a new duty station, within 6 months, he would have convinced them it was better for him to come in at 9 a.m. and stay until everything was done than get there at 6 a.m. and really not have very effective work from him for the first 2 to 3 hours. They usually opted for quality over quantity. Oh, and she said she chose the second reason for reporting, which she won't type in here. Um, uh, but we have a tendency to be we stay up late. But thankfully, one of the beauties of homeschooling is um, we don't have to. Um, says that is awesome, Dad from Shogun. Um, anyway, huh? Mm, I, you know what? I think I totally just lost track of what I was saying. I was talking about where'd it go? Ah, time. Um, the nice thing about homeschooling is that we get up when our bodies are ready to get up. Well, a lot of times I get up before that. I've got too much going on. But uh, Scott said, "My friend the hacker, it's great live to go rewatch." Good to know. We'll go check it out.
I was I was working my fingers to the death. All of us were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had my phone and my tablet going on Scotch Live, and I'm Raquel, MT
All right,
holding
you're saying
hands. Yeah,
9 a.m. versus 6 a.m. Are you saying that that's what time you normally get up, or is which? I think I missed part of that. Um.
oh, I get it
Okay, that
now.
is preferred bedtime.
He was talking about your dad.
6 to 7 a.m. for wake up time. No, we and Coffee Angel saying that was nuts. So she must have been over there too. Um, but
That's crazy.
we I am not a morning person. I will if I have to get up and I have to get things done, I will do it. Like for shows, candy shows and stuff like that. But when if I'm left to my own, I'll go to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning and I'll sleep until about 9 or 10. Sometimes it's later, but usually that's if I've only gotten like 4 or 5 hours a night for a few nights in a row. But the story of yes, military. He'd convince them that he wasn't any good. Why have him show up? So even the military realized that it was better to let my dad go to sleep later. But I had a guy that worked for me for a couple of years when I was doing computers. We were a 24-hour location and did computer operations and stuff. I mean, it says I get up for work 4 to 5 a.m. and in bed by 10. Well, I would be too if I was getting up that early. That's, yeah, I do it if I have to. Matt used to do that when he worked at the sand pit. He said, "It's giving the poor hacker a heart to heart. It peeved him off so bad he left."
It was foot to butt.
Foot to butt meant. um, but I was talking to my mom one day, and she gets up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And the thing of it is, though, is she goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night. It's like people get this idea that if you sleep past 9 or 10 o'clock, that you're being lazy, but you're not if you were up till 4. You know, my dog wakes me up 4:30. He is afraid missing his 6 a.m. feeding time. What kind of a dog do you have?
A schnauzer, a schnoodle.
Matt's thinking it was a schnauzer or some sort or something. Um, we have well on the property we have. Wait a minute. How many dogs does Crystal have? She's got Faith, Nugget,
She only
and
got six
Simi,
now.
and uh, all right, four. And then there's 5, 6, 8 here. We have 12 dogs on the property, and the cat has the same routine. Let's see. I think okay. I get up at 4 to 5 a.m. in bed by 10. Um, Coffee Angel, her dog gets her up at 4:30. Shogun said, "Okay, your cat has the same routine." Now, here's the question though: does the cat have your routine, or do you know have the cat's routine? Ah, Shih Tzu, Gesundheit. That's what those are. We live on 20 acres. Um,
You're not supposed to say bad words online.
I didn't say a bad word. Huh. Ha 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 ha.
35.
Let's see here. 3, 5. Okay. Um, we now the we mostly use about the front 5 to 10 acres. The rest of it is for the horses, and now Matthew's making his newest outpost back there, and we walk back there and stuff like that. But as far as where we have the houses and everything, it's on the front part of the property, and we have 3 households. So my sister has her own place, which she's supposed to be selling soon, and one of my nieces is going to take it. And then we have my parents' place and our place. We share the routine. He and my boss like 4 a.m. I like 10 p.m. if I have to be up that early. That makes sense. Um, she says, I know, Scott, but the dog just don't get it. How come I don't see that anywhere? Where does it say Shih Tzu? She was talking about that's where Coffee Angel was talking about the type of dog she had. It went by kind of quick. We've had all kinds of dogs. Um, Matt and I have a tendency. We live far enough out in the country. People think if they let their dogs out, they're going to just
They
drop
jump.
them off in the country so they can, live that country life. No, what happens is your dog doesn't leave the road because it's wondering where you are and it gets hit by a car, or it gets hungry and he starts looking for stuff and it's always been fed. So then it does things like kill people's chickens or their rabbits or whatever, and then it gets shot. But we've known people that when places he used to work at, they'd come and say, I've got a dog. If somebody doesn't take it, then I'm just going to drop it off at the pound. So we've gotten up to 5 or 6 dogs at a time before. We feed them up, send them on to somebody else, make sure they're going to a good home. But we're not a official, um, what do you call it, shelter or nothing like that. We don't officially foster. We just take them in when we find them and send them on when they're healthy to do it. My dogs get up at 5 with Debbie if she's away. They sleep till 9 with me. Amen. I understand that. I completely understand that. I'm missing chat posts. You could be on, check to see if you're on live posts, live chat, or if you're on top chat. That can make a difference. I've had that happen to me before. Let me see. Yeah. I think actually, even though I know we've got like 10 people in here, it's not been exactly a super exciting, but I don't know. I like talking about things where you kind of get to know a little bit more about people, even if they're not going to come up on the panel. Ooh, 14 dogs at one time. Um, did
Lost your ever loving mind.
that says, did you lose your ever loving mind? Um, thing it is, was he a breeder? My mom used to breed min pins, and at one point she did cocker spaniels, but she used to breed miniature pinchers. Um, but that's a bunch of dogs. We've had, we've got 12 right now, but it's on the property. They're spread out between a few different households. But we had 6 at one time, Matt, not counting puppies. We've had, we were up to 5 at one point. I know that, but we're down to 3. We've kept 3 for a while now. I didn't see it because it was potentially a bad statement. Oh, okay. Probably because. All right. Sled dogs. Ooh, we used to have American Eskimos. We had one that, boy, my parents had him when I was a baby, and It was a really good dog. Really good dog. A hunting dog pack. Ooh. Ray. Sometimes y'all will see her on some of our shorts or whatever. Um, her. She grew up in Virginia in the mountains. She is literally a coal miner's daughter, and her first husband used to raise and hunt with dark and tans. Isn't that what you called them, Matt? Babe.
What?
Ray's first husband used to do the coon hunts with black and tans. That's what they were called, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, all different breeds. Sled dogs and igloos. That's what we use all winter up here. How far north are y'all? Or he's in Canada also, right? Sometimes I get lost. Um. Oh, okay. Uh, had a husky Malamute, and she was number one. Yes. Um, I've liked it, and I think I commented black and tans. Yes, you are correct. It took me a minute. Um, they are they are definitely some good dogs. But he used to do competition coon hunts, and I'm not sure. I think in some places they can't do them anymore. But stuff like that, if you're enough up in the mountains, not like anybody's going to stop you. But um, let's see here. Right, I thought it was in Canada. I start losing track though of who's where. I mean, I do some, but it's like I've got friends. My friend that was on here earlier, Jennifer. I couldn't for the life of me remember at the time whether she was in the States or she was overseas right now, but she's overseas. You're 1 hour from the border, Raquel. Um, let's see. Shogun's asking Scott, what about a more Norwegian or more house type as opposed to the
Asking
igloos?
if he wants an elk hound.
Who?
Whoever's asking.
Asking if somebody wants an elk hound. We don't have one right now.
I didn't say we did. Ask them if they want one.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want one?
We don't want them here because it gets too hot.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Malamutes are nice. See, we have two Australian Shepherds right now, and um, they are good dogs. And we've got two Australian Shepherds, and we have a Beagle. And we're not breeding them now, but we did have a couple of litters, and it was intentional. People can say what they want about crossbreeds and all that good stuff. They um, three of the pups are now um, uh, what's it called, Matt? They help people, um, service dogs. I got some pictures from one of the families because the Australian Shepherd is so smart, but they can be high strung sometimes. And then the Beagle, they're headstrong. Whereas the Australian Shepherd kind of is more wants to be helpful. So you get that mixture between the Australian Shepherd and the Beagle, and you get amazing dogs, and then they're gorgeous on top of that. Um, let's see. He has a beaver hat for when it gets cold. Just saying. Um, let's see here. All right. Uh, Lynette, right? Coffee Angel. I think I got the name right. Is that Aunt Lynn's name? Mm-hmm. It was a I tell you, the beagle. Oh, we had to stop using it. We used to use a in-ground fence because since we have so much land, it's harder to um, we wanted them to have a decent amount of space, and putting up fences sometimes isn't good for wherever we were wanting them to stay. So we had in-ground fences. That beagle, oh my word, lady will go right through it. And if she's got her nose to the ground, um, she will just she'll go through anything, and she knows that that collar is going to shock when she goes through it, but she doesn't care if she's on the track of something. Then she comes back and she's crying all night because she can't get back in. And I have to go shut everything off, pick her up, carry her back in. So we actually stopped using the in ground. Says you wouldn't believe what some Americans believe we live in up here, and it's winter year round. One guy argued with me when I said it was colder last, yep, in Texas than here. He freaked out. It's true. It was. I mean, that's where the whole Texans Down Under name came from, was because we froze so bad, and I was trying to fix things under our house, and still have some things I need to work on. It was cold. But like when we lived over in Germany, people, when we would say that we were from Texas, people think everybody rides a horse back and forth to school. We all have oil wells. You know, it's no. And then we lived in Alaska, and I have a very good friend of mine, um, one of my few friends from my, being a kid, because we were both had military parents. And all the time people think that in Alaska they live in igloos and all that stuff. Some places they kind of do, but on the whole, I mean, um, Anchorage isn't a huge town. I mean, a huge city, but it's still um, ah, Raquel. Sorry, I got distracted over there. Raquel saying good night. So good night.
Good night,
Hope you have a
Raquel.
good one. Um, And Shogun's asking Scott if you can type drop. Yes, I don't think he's done that yet. See, anytime with minor mats, you can show up and just type in drop. Good night, coffee. And Texans do ride horses and have oil wells. Just ask Oiler down. Yes. Um, we do have horses. We do ride them, but it's not our main form of transportation. um, let's see here. More. Yes. Coffee Angel says that she doesn't share well enough to be a polygamist. I understand that. But then, the statement, you need one man to take the trash out and one to do this and one to do that. And if you're really lucky, they're all the same man. But no, I couldn't do that either. Um, there's some cultures, though, where, it's not just like, here in the States, our idea of polygamy and stuff is just very different than what they have overseas. Some people really prefer the fact that they've got, um, not all of them have the same relationship as what we would consider in a marriage here. Um, Sweeney's Farm. Hello, hello. How are you doing down there?
Drop the link for him. He'll come up.
Oh, maybe he will. Okay. Um, let's see here. I dropped the link. Um, yes, every place is different. We have different ways of doing things, and let me see here. We it was something from living overseas. It's made it kind of different for a lot of things that have been in the news, and say the last, I don't know, 10, 15, well, actually 20 years, I guess. Um, we lived in Turkey for a while. Oh, he says he can't. Um, having a good day. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Um, but oh man, I'm apparently getting tired. I'm losing track even more than usual. Um, I'm just watching what's going on over in the chat. Uh, anyway, overseas though, the perception of a lot of people here of kind of like we were talking about with everybody up north lives in igloos and everything else. There's a lot of misconceptions of what the day-to-day life is like overseas. A friend of mine used to talk about all that stuff you see on the news of people waving weapons and everything else, and it's like, well, that's over on so and so street. That doesn't always happen here. Yes, squirrel. I'm terrible with that. I uh, definitely. I am a squirrel queen. And Cassie's the white rabbit queen. You listen to her long enough, she'll take you on all kinds of trips down the rabbit hole. You never know where you're going to show up. Um, here,
Show me fingers.
he wants me to give passcodes for my phone. I can't do this and think at the same time. Okay. Anyway, yes, we have misconceptions here too. Like we all have kangaroos in our backyard. The fact we do at Sweeney's is beside the point. Absolutely. I was just thinking that when I started reading that. I'm like, but you do have kangaroos.
But not
But
everybody there does.
you don't have any of those drop koalas though, do you? If you're they're kind of vicious. Um, it's some of the weird things that people ask about. When I lived in Colorado, a friend of mine was a ranger, and one day this lady asked him, or should I say, grizzlies is closer to that size than a squirrel. Yes, definitely. Um, those things are boy. Seeing a grizzly, it was so weird when I was driving up um, through Canada, and I've seen, I've gone to lots of zoos and stuff like that. Seeing a grizzly bear on the side of the road, just sitting there scratching himself, was just so surreal. It was really cool. No drop bears. I tamed them all around the airport, ready to attack American tourists. Um, well, that what we tell them. Yeah. Um, I saw a picture of a drop bear once. Um, they're real, I'm sure. It's kind of like chupacabra. What are the other ones, Matt? There's chupacabra and uh,
Miss Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. No, Bigfoot is real. I sleep with him. um, let's see here. Now, um, I've watched some of your videos, Sweeney, but um, I think you told me before. Boy, I am tired. What coast, what area are you in? See, it's the bunyips and the yowies around here that are the problem. I might tell stories too. Hmm. Now, I've heard about the magpies. Heard they can be well-trained drop bears. A 6'9" grizz is a small one. Yes, but he gets kind of growly. He also shaves more. They're a bit fuzzy, but that part of that's TMI. Um. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look those up. I haven't heard of bunyips or yowies. They like snipes. Matthew, I thought you went to bed already. No?
Matthew, your mother.
I mean, he says, Matthew's saying we got to ask Siri something. I don't know. Central Victoria. Okay. Bottom right corner. So the east. All right. So you're south of Sydney area. You are shaking the. Do you see this? Matt's over there with his foot doing like this. I have got to get a different camera because is this as blurry to y'all as it is to me, or am I just that tired? No, just checking. I don't know what the frame rate is. The grizzly shaves more. Um, no, we have friends and family that are a little north of Sydney, and then my niece lives in Adelaide. But we have friends that live in um, Woy Woy. It's a small town. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before. Um, Sweeney lives in Big Gold Country. All right, and kick his butt. No, I just cook his food. Um, okay, thank you. Appreciate it, Scott. Just kind of curious because normally we use Matt's camera, but tonight I'm just using the one on my regular computer. Um,
I tell you what,
let's
go
see.
watch Scott's
Yowies are the First
live
Nations.
from earlier.
Oh, okay. Yowies are so kind of like in talking about can't think of the word. Mm-mm. Okay. Yowies are the First Nations people version of Bigfoot myth, and Bunyip is a mythological beast from their legends. Lived in Billabongs, First Nation word for waterhole. Okay. You seen uh, Quigley Down Under? It's a good movie. Um, they just talking about the waterhole that made me think about it. Calling it a night. Well, Lynette, it was very nice to meet you, and definitely I'll be scrolling back through and showing some love over on your site, and love to look and see what you've got going on. Um, yes, Sweeney's saying that the Lapidary Channel, richest gold field in the world, amazing history here of gold mining. Um, is that also where? Um, all right, I'm probably gonna have to get off pretty soon because I can't finish a sentence without losing a word somewhere. What's that movie that you used to watch all the time, Matt? About the kid who inherits the gold mine from his uncle, and it's about the horse though. Movie's about the horse in Australia. S-
Snowy River.
Yes, Snowy River. Thank you, Scott. That's good to know. The huge nuggets. Woodway is north of Sydney, so about 14 to 16 hours drive from me. Hadn't heard of it, but know where it is now. Beautiful part of Australia. Yes. Um, Ray lived there for about 4 years, and so we now have good uh, the the friends that we call family. You know, there's some wonderful people
Good
there.
night, Scott.
Good night, Scott.
God bless. Have a good
Um,
week.
welcome, stranger. Nugget found not far from here. Oh, okay. I guess like how they name a bunch of them. How big was it? Hmm, let's see here. Probably going to be wrapping things up. Matt's about to have a conniption fit. And if you're not from Texas, then you may not know
Yes,
what
it
that
was
is,
one
but I
of my
think you can
favorites
figure it
too.
out. Man from Snowy River. Yep. It's a fantastic movie.
Almost as good
Um,
as Quigley Down Under.
well, I mentioned that one already. Some of my favorite Australian movies. Well, and then
Crocodile
of
Dundee.
course, Crocodile Dundee.
Nobody from Australia likes Crocodile Dundee.
Then Welcome Stranger in Vegas. Oh, okay. That must have been pretty good size. You
Crocodile
keep
Dundee.
saying Ray Ray, and I think you're talking to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, Rae Ray Ray. She is my mom's best friend and essentially my aunt. and she is fantastic. She's an
Tell
amazing woman.
Scott that
She's
he's
an
supposed
amazing
to be
woman.
getting a passport.
Oh, Matt says you're supposed to be getting a passport, Scott.
He's he just told me start walking.
Sweet says Crocodile Dundee. Talk about cultural cringe. Well, still fun though. I just looked it up and we're roughly only 1,300 miles away. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Um, I can drive, what, I can do 1,000 miles in about 20 hours. Crocodile Dundee was a good movie, but not reflective of most Australians, of course.
Those
Not
are
saying
great
it's not true,
movies.
but those sort of outbackers are rare now.
I
All
just
right.
want the gun.
From Crocodile Dundee? I
No,
want his
from
knife.
Quigley Down
Oh, from
Under.
Quigley Down Under, yeah.
And that knife was just a pocket knife. That
Yeah, I know. But uh good night, Scott. I look forward to seeing you again online. Thank you very much for coming and joining tonight. Um, let's see. All right, Shogun, both are great, and a 45 110 or 45 120 is a nasty rifle. Um, yeah, I have a judge. I don't know if you know what that is. Uh,
45 long Colt at 410.
yeah, it'll take a 45 long or 110 shells.
No, 410.
410 shell. I'm reading
Something
what
like
it said there, 110, and that visual mess up there. I have a bit of Crocodile Dundee in me, bit of Steve Irwin, and a lot of my dad and pops. You know what? From what I've seen, I could absolutely see that.
that's okay.
I could absolutely see that.
Because I got a little
What are you?
John Wayne in me.
Yeah, John Wayne wasn't little.
Luck of the Irish.
Lucky Texans down under. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Where's? Wait a minute. I think I got lost. I'm good. Hi. How's everyone doing tonight? Yep. Anyway, all right. I think we really are going to jump off. I've enjoyed spending time with everybody. Um, and but I've got to take Matt home. Well,
I thought,
he's scared to walk home by himself. It's dark. Shh! Don't tell
yeah,
nobody.
whatever you say.
Um. Oh, there you go. Finally, somebody found it. Looked it up. Lucky Stranger is 3,123 troy ounces. That is a monster nugget. Wow, that is massive. Quigley Down Under was a controversial movie. It's one of the first movies to draw attention to First Nations massacres. Right, murders and dispossession of the land in our history. Um, Definitely. Ray's talked about that quite a bit, and I mean, even before. Um, I think that was one of the things I really appreciated about Quigley Down Under is I didn't know the actual history of it, but it seemed to me, just as I said before, from traveling, um, the perceptions people have of a lot of cultures are from outside the culture. When you're inside of it, there's a whole different world a lot of times. And the with Quigley, how he interacted with the locals, and I think a lot of that from coming from the United States and being um, just more of a, not the fact that he came from the United States, just that he didn't grow up there. Exactly. History is written by the victorious. And um, it
That's okay because
it took
we ran
into
off on
more
this flipping back to England.
realizing that people are people. And something with doing genealogy and stuff, when people are saying, oh well, my ancestor was this type of person or that person, it, just as an example, um my great great grandmother had three different husbands, and was raising a couple of kids that weren't hers, and it's like, was that normal? It's like, it's normal today. people way back then had the same kind of issues that we have today. Well, the same with other cultures and stuff. Other people, they still have to deal with interpersonal relationships. So, so often, um, um, the First Nations, depending on whatever you call them for your particular country, but I think that's a good term really for anywhere. But people want to pigeonhole them, and they're people. And a lot of movies, it's just kind of like a placeholder. Actually, we ought to get Wolf on here one night, Matt. We have a family friend of ours that he is a Native American. He's Apache, and he is actually an actor in movies, but they are all Native American um, movies. They definitely are more about showing from their standpoint rather than just the rubber stamped version that are in a lot of movies. A Cooper Petty, that one I'm not familiar with, though. But sweet, oh man, you are a hot part of Aussie. Gonna check out the channel, mate. Um, well, I hope that some people connected. Up, Don said sorry he missed it. You did. My friend that I sent the link to. I'll chat with him and have him come up at a later time. But uh, where's Don at? Oh, he's not in the chat. He sent me a message through Facebook. Um, you're looking under my phone, literally. You're like, Matt, he's too big to fit under there. I promise. I had a notification show up on the computer. Matt was wondering where I saw him. I'm like, he's not on the phone. No. There are a lot of comparisons in culture, beliefs, and experiences between Australian and American Canadian First Nations people. I connect with their view of the world a lot more than Western culture. I understand that. I really do. And um, that's one thing with homeschooling that I when I was first teaching American history with the kids, we started out with what many would consider Texan history, going back to the point of who were the Native American tribes in these regions, which became Texas and became this Gulf Coast area, and uh, how did they live? What were they like, and what was their perception of when the Europeans came? All right, Matt's bailing. So he has an addiction that must be fed. Anyway, um, Cooper, Petey, okay, I'm coming home. Fine. Just all right, folks. I'm gonna have to log off. Um, and leads a white man in a hole. I'm gonna have to show this to Bray tomorrow. But natives called the white man digging for opals. Okay, well that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, I'm definitely gonna be checking you out, Shogun. And I'm going to need to sign off. So good night, everybody. Did everybody get a chance to say drop and put their links in? And I hope y'all all have a great night. Yeah. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night. All righty. Good night, everybody. Ah. Okay.
Who was that?
Sweeney. Don't put an exclamation point after it. Just type drop.
Just drop by itself.
Yep. Just drop.
Just
Might have made it too simple. Good. Good night, Raymond.
Night, bro. Mate.
Bros and mates and all those. Boy. Hello, hello. All right. Sweeney, I know that we've had yours before.
I got it. I'll send it to her.
Well, no, I've had it. I mean, I'm following already. I know that. I just wasn't sure if I think everybody else here. I don't know if Lynette that was in earlier,
Coffee
but
Angels.
yeah, Coffee Angels.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Okay. Well, that's good then. All right, we just want to make sure that everybody's able to share the love. So, take care. God bless, and you'll probably see me hijacking Matt's stream. I would like to go on more often. It just never seems to be the right time to do it. All right. Good night.